Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Riff podcast. My name is Bill Markey.
My name is Thomas Angelo.
And today we're talking all things Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 2. A man is only as good as his bird. What'd you think? Start us off.
I like this one. I mean, we're going right into spoilers, right?
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the spoiler free in episode 1. But I liked this episode, not as much as the first episode. I thought the first episode had a lot more interesting character stuff going on, but there's still a lot of interesting character stuff in episode 2. At least for me, the standout was definitely Peacemaker and Adrian, like, dealing with the consequences of the other Peacemaker in the body and how they get rid of that. And I kind of like how that scene was played for comedy, but it's still dark. Like, it's funny that Adrian is, like, doing the whole dance thingy and whatever, but, like, it's still fucking dark what's happening. And I was interested in the Leota, the Adebayo stuff with the girlfriend when she was, like, going back to Gotham. I'm like, who the fuck would willingly go back to Gotham? But,
I guess not all parts of Gotham.
Maybe.
I mean, it is a pretty fucked up city.
Yeah.
But we also haven't seen this Gotham.
We haven't seen it, so can't really speak to it.
It might be like almost like Chris Nolan's big city Gotham, maybe not the decrepit Matt Reeves Gotham. Who knows?
I like the scene with Hardcore at the kind of like Walgreens or dollar store, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, that was interesting. I like when she's looking at the help wanted on the floor, and the beaker joke was pretty funny. And I did like the conversation between her and Chris on the rooftop. I did think it was interesting, kind of revealing more into her character and how she feels. And then that obviously sets up Peacemaker going home and getting drunk and once again making a mistake while he's drunk. Almost everything he's done was when he was intoxicated and like was just acting on his depression. But I will say I did like Tim Meadows in this. I thought he was like a standout. Yeah. Really funny. I did think the bird blindness joke, the fact that I thought that was him fucking with Economos. The fact that they actually took that serious, I thought that was a bit much.
Yeah.
Maybe. It was a little
I
like,
don't mind it.
The line is funny when he's like, oh, I was just fucked up by a duck, like to the one guy, and all the nicknames he has for them. But I will say that's probably the one criticism for this episode is I think some of the comedy was didn't always land for me. But it was also the cold opening was also interesting with Frank Grillo coming in, and that flashback kind of seemed like it was going to be a little funny between him and Economos, and then it got serious real quick, so it became a lot more interesting. But I did like this episode. I like the character moments again. I like where it's going. I'm very curious to see where Peacemaker ends up in the next episode with that new dimension. He's texting Hardcore in that dimension. I will say I think the one thing that holds this episode back a little bit from the first one is I just don't think the comedy landed as well. But that's just my take.
I don't think it did as well. I also just think there wasn't as much comedy.
I think the character moments in episode 1 were a bit more interesting. But no, I would say this was a bit more goofy than episode 1.
You think so?
I mean, a lot of the comedy,
yeah.
But a lot of the comedy in episode 1 was that interview scene, and that was a lot.
True.
That was a lot of comedy. But in this one, I thought there was a lot, and it just didn't fully land all the time. Like, the Beaker joke was funny, but then I was like, okay, all right, that went on like a little long, and then I don't know. Just I think the
the Beaker thing.
I think the pacing of the comedy wasn't as spot on as it was in the first episode. I think that's maybe what it is. But Tim Meadows did carry it a lot. Everything with him and Economos was really funny.
I said to you during the episode, I said, he's reminding me of another character from one of our favorite shows, and I was curious if you were going to...
And I got it immediately.
And immediately, like, Tom from Succession, right away. And, like, him and Economos almost reminded me of Tom and Greg.
Oh, yeah.
That type of dichotomy.
I hear you. I'm surprised you didn't say that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I was going to say, what do you think of the episode overall?
I liked it. It didn't hit as much as episode 1.
Definitely did not for me as well. I mean, it's still a good episode in terms of where we're going. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I honestly just think not all the comedy landed for me, and that's just what it is.
And it wasn't as eventful. But I like that, though, this like kind of reminded me that this show is going to be a slow burn, which maybe I wasn't anticipating. Maybe I was just anticipating more.
You know, I'm happy that it's a slow burn. Like, I want to feel with these characters. And, like, I really feel for Peacemaker as a character. And I think the more that we take the time to do that, the better because I heard the last 3 episodes of this season are insane. So I'm assuming when we get to that point, it will feel really earned because we went through the mud here a little bit.
This agreed. This episode, this goes in line with what you're saying, or at least I think it does. I feel like this episode maybe began to, episode 1 did, but maybe this one I'm feeling like set up even more. Mm-hmm. Where episode 1 we meet the other universe's Chris's father and his brother.
Yeah, Augie and Keith.
Yeah, and there's that, and now this one leaves us with, oh, now he's contacting that universe's Harcourt. It's like setting up, like
all the leads. I mean, they're definitely setting up that Rick Flag. Was it this Rick Flag Junior? He's 1,000% going to be in this somehow. 1,000%. I would put money on it. So.
Oh, he has to be, especially when
that cold opening.
Because Senior is the one who wanted the 24-hour surveillance on Chris Smith, which is what looks like it's the reason why they're finding out that something, that energy is coming from his home. So when that's figured out what's going on in there, Senior.
You know what's interesting? It reminds me of that Edgar Allan Poe story, The Telltale Heart.
Mm.
Did you
ever
read
heard
that?
I don't know shit. You're gonna have to.
It's when the protagonist in that story like kills somebody and they bury them in the floorboards, and these detectives come over to like look, and the guy, even though the cops can't hear it, the guy who buried the body can like hear the body's heart, and it's like stressing him out, and it's making him slip up and make mistakes with the detectives, and eventually they find the body. But to me, that's kind of like a parallel with the story, but like the heart in this sense is like the other universe in that closet. It's like once
True.
Argus gets in there and finds the secrets and like finds what Chris did to the other Peacemaker, it's kind of like it's like Peacemaker has a really big secret that's like harnessing all of his depression, and I'm interested to see where that's gonna blow up. You know,
I'm just curious what type of impact the parallel dimension, whatever, is. I like how they're not really using the term multiverse.
Yeah, it's alternate reality.
It's almost like they really don't want us to feel like, the multiverse is where that word has such a stain on it now, mainly because of Marvel. Well, really all because of Marvel. Yeah. So I like how they're really choosing not to use that word, but I'm curious just to see like the possibilities of like, are these worlds going to merge? Or are we going to see like Rick Flag Sr. try to pull his son out of that? You know what I mean? Like
I'm interested to see how it makes all of these characters unravel, because all of these characters want something more.
Yep.
That's not in this reality, but that's probably in the other reality. Like I'm assuming Leota would probably get her girlfriend back in this alternate reality and everything. They fucking time it, man.
Every episode we've done so far, there is a motorcycle or a cavalcade of them out there.
Ridiculous, dude.
I'm curious. God, it's so funny. We've talked about how, in general, we do not. What am I doing? Am I doing something weird?
No.
Oh, I thought it was like moving too close to the mic.
No. You're good.
How we've talked about the redundancies of the multiverse, and what, again, not to shit on it, but what Marvel's done with it. And how this show has me excited for a multiverse. Mm-hmm. I never would have thought in a million years anything can make me excited for a multiverse. And this show has me thinking of all the possibilities. Like now I'm thinking, what is that world's Harcourt like? Like how is she as opposed to the one that we know? Mm-hmm. And like, I've lost interest in the multiverse. And then this has made me interested because of how they're going about it.
Because it's character based. No,
yeah.
That's what it is. It's rooted in emotion and not rooted in fan service. And that's just the truth.
True.
That's genuinely just the difference between what Gunn's doing here. He's doing it for story potential and not for making money and fan service and
how do we get all these characters in the same room?
Exactly. It's as simple as that,
We're just jumping around here. What this episode did as well, and we just got done watching it moments before recording this right now, like literally minutes, was at one point I had to put my head down like this. People who are listening, I'm just putting my hand in my head, like the way you rub your forehead when you're stressed. It's connecting with me on personal levels where he's going through his phone and, he's going through the other Peacemaker's phone and he's finding these loving pictures of that Peacemaker.
Yeah,
and Harcourt.
It's hurtful. I can relate to it too.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm there. He's scrolling through it, and I just had to put my hand on my head. I was like, "Oh God!" Like I wanted that scene to be over. Like it was hitting me. I was like,
sad.
I was like, "This is sad. This is making me sad because I'm reliving like a past relationship. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking. It's like I don't want to say I didn't tune in for this. I didn't, but like the way it makes me feel, like it's making me feel. And even if I don't feel good, like I so love the fact that this show is making me feel.
It's making me feel too, and I mean, I definitely felt the same way with you during like that moment, because there's plenty of people from my past. I go back and look at the pictures, and it makes me sad. Like, it happens all the time.
Yeah,
and that is just a sad thing that we could connect to Chris, and it's just opening the door for like a lot of dark story potential of what could happen. Like, it's the whole setup of this season is really dark. It's really messed up.
It really is.
It's rooted in so much trauma and sad. Yeah, it you know, obviously the show's a comedy. Like, we have Tim Meadows here talking about girls sucking his dick and everything and whatnot. Pokemon, which that's a great joke, because like every single adult in my life calls it Pokemon. Yep. So I'm glad Gunn fucking commented on that. I hate when people do it, because I think these fucking people do it on purpose. They want to sound like the old like guy, like, oh yeah, Pokemon. Like, you fucking know it's Pokemon. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's like people who say, what are those dolls, knowing that they're figures?
Yeah. I'm
just like, because there's somebody who has at least 400 figures around here. When people say dolls, I know what you're doing, you fucks. I'm just going to deviate for a second away from the show just to talk about the tones of the DCU for a moment, because we were talking about how this episode made us feel. And you mentioned last week a through line for the projects in DC so far has been Frank Grillo, between Creature Commando, Superman, and this. Another through line, and this just goes back to the tone, is this is now the third DCU project in a row where it's really making me relate and feel to the characters who I didn't, on paper, you really wouldn't. They're not your way in. Like in this show, like our way in really wouldn't be Chris Smith, like this jacked up superhero and whatnot. But what he's experiencing is then that's creating my way in. To go back to Superman, and I'm seeing it even more in social media, how people are really relating to this scene where, like, you know, he mentioned, there's the whole monologue where he goes, "That's where you're wrong, Luthor." He's like, "'Cause I get up every day," and he does that whole thing. And even the scene where he looks at Luthor and he's like, "He's just a dog," or he says to Lois Lane, he's like, "It's just a dog," and he's like, "Yeah, but he's probably alone." Like, that was our way into Superman, where they humanized him. Even Creature Commandos, there's episodes where I'm feeling for the Nazi killing robot. Like, they're continuing to find ways in everything so far to fucking suck me in emotionally with characters who, on paper, like, I love Henry Cavill. I couldn't relate to that Superman, but David Cornsweet, I'm relating to it. Again, on paper, I probably shouldn't relate to Peacemaker, but I am. I shouldn't be relating to it.
You think the biggest scene for this episode was him looking through the photos?
100%.
Yeah, that's.
And then in episode 1, it's the father and dad stuff, the family dynamic. Like, they're continuing to find ways where, like, I'm relating to these characters who are not the quote unquote way in the way they normally are. So that's just a credit to James Gunn.
Actually, there was like no action in this episode too, other than the Eagly scene. Yeah. And I guess that's one of my criticisms as well, is I actually noticed in this episode, I think they need to tone down how many songs they use. And like, I get that like they rely on it a lot for Peacemaker, but like it was a little like, some songs are just like playing for like 3 seconds and then it's another one, and it's just like, it feels like too much at a point. Like the scene with Eagly like slow motion walking and the song starts playing, that felt a little awkward.
I liked it.
It felt a little awkward to me.
The Eagly shot I liked.
Yeah, but I just don't think it worked slow motion with the music, and then it cut to them partying. Like, that was just a weird moment. I don't know.
I actually would have preferred them just hang on Eagly and end it there.
In a way,
and then go to the party separately.
I would have agreed. I just thought the cut and how it was framed was just a little awkward. Like, it was just like, I'm like, what's going on? I don't have many other criticisms though. I do really agree with you. Like, I find like a lot of emotional ways into Peacemaker as a character, and I don't know if this is John Cena. Like, I just, the way he's able to emote and sell it, and it's just, it really works for me. And it's crazy because you want to watch a superhero show and you expect a lot of comedy and action, and this episode is almost really sad, really, apart from the Tim Meadows character. What's his name, by the way? He's like Flurry. The Agent Flurry.
Interesting. F-L-E-U-R-Y. Yeah, I forgot his first name.
The fact that like I'm still like extremely engaged and excited for the next episode when it's barely any action and it's only character stuff, but the character stuff is so interesting that I'm ready just to see where it takes me, and I'm excited where it goes next, you know?
I mean, I think it's going to be... I feel like in the long run, this episode will be better on the rewatch when we see what's coming after. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like it'll complement the pacing of the season. That's like, okay, that's the episode where it doesn't have much action, but we get some more of the emotional stuff.
There's episodes like this in every TV show, though. You know, we have to see the characters go through stuff a lot for it to feel like when they reach a conclusion, it's earned. I feel like that's the same type of thing with Succession. That happens a lot with White Lotus. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of the same shit happening a lot in different ways, and you're almost just kind of like, how much more of this build-up can we take? And then the last episode, it feels also earned because of that slow burn.
Right.
I think James Gunn is gonna have it done right for us, and I think by the end we're gonna be like, okay, it worked.
Where this ends too, even though this episode didn't hit for me as much, it's got me really wanting to see that third one. Not just because of Peacemaker as a show, because of literally how this episode ends with him texting Harcourt, the other universe's Harcourt, and because he has the other Peacemaker's phone, which why did you say that was a mistake when he kept the phone?
Because I knew what he was gonna do, you know. But if I see myself in that situation, and like, God, having like gone through like stuff recently, like I know the phone is just like a weapon. You can go down some bad rabbit holes of just looking into people's lives, scrolling, seeing things that you didn't want to see, seeing
your life
memories. What?
It's like looking into your life, just a different version.
Version of it.
It's not even like finding somebody's phone or like the girl you like, her phone. You're finding another. What an interesting dynamic. You're finding your phone from another dimension.
It's really interesting. I just know how bad the rabbit hole can be with the phone. I've done it, just even in the past couple of days. But the fact that like it's the alternate version of his, it's 10 times worse, and everything that he wants is in that phone. It's 10 times worse.
The person you could be, the person you want to be.
Yeah, it's like taking that idea of like what the phone and social media and the rabbit hole can do to us, but like multiplying it by fucking 10.
Yeah, this is like the worst version.
Oh yeah, by far, 100%.
Digging into some shit that you should probably leave alone, but temptation says otherwise.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was probably that was an audible reaction where I was like, oh fuck, like obviously for the interesting drama that needs to happen, but it was a mistake.
And I'm excited. I'm very excited to see. Again, we went back to it. I heard this theory on a different podcast, and I'm surprised we didn't think of it. Mm-hmm. But in the first episode, when David Denman, his brother in the show, says something to how he lost Harcourt, and something about how you got to get her away from that jarhead or something, how it's going to be an interesting dynamic if that Harcourt has some sort of, or has some sort of relationship romantically to Rick Flag.
Yeah, I mean, the way this episode ends, it makes me think that alternate universe Harcourt is open to something. The way that she responded back, hey, I like how at first you thought that he was blocked when the message didn't go through. But then I kind of put two and two together, like he just had to be in the universe for the text to send.
So now it's even cooler. Like, oh yeah, like what a cool little detail. Like if he's going to talk to her, because you can imagine maybe she's not just going to be like, hey, I'll see you. So for him to earn that face-to-face meeting, he really has to stay there. Mm-hmm. Like it's like if she doesn't say, I doubt she's going to say, yeah, let's meet. In order for him, maybe he's got it like any other, whatever situation we've been there with girls where you got to like maybe earn that, or what if like she's like, I'll meet you Friday, and then Friday's 5 days away, and he can't just ghost her, so he's got to be there.
Yeah, it's really interesting how the show takes like normal things that happens in life, but just finds interesting new dynamics in a superhero fashion to like turn it on its head.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're watching a superhero show.
No, I really don't. I think we're watching a character drama.
Yeah,
this episode just felt weirdly paced a little bit, and I honestly just think maybe it was I like the Tim Meadows stuff. I don't know if it was just meshing really well with the rest of like the dark shit that was happening.
Yeah, this episode was really dark.
Yeah, and it took me time to like during like when they like are burning Peacemaker, like chopping him up, the other body, and it was like being played for like a fun scene. I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this like this. I would maybe have wanted this a bit darker. It starts to work on me a little bit more, but my main criticisms are just like the pacing of the episode and the comedy, and maybe toning down the music a little bit. Like, the less you have, the more value it has, you know?
I think that sums it up. Like, I couldn't figure out maybe why I wasn't as into it, but I think that's true. Like, I thought when they were doing the cleaning montage for a moment that was going to be this season's equivalence of when they were in the woods, like blowing shit up. But it didn't. I wasn't like laughing this time around.
It's a little dark. Like,
yeah,
like it's not like, I get Adrian's having fun like dancing, but like the idea, like you're like hiding your own body.
Yeah,
it's just like eerie. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Like, this episode wasn't as strong, but it certainly doesn't have me like as if this is the episode so far where they dropped the ball or something.
No, this is still a great episode.
Yeah,
not as good as the first maybe, but it's definitely a step in the right direction in terms of where the story's going. I think just toning down the music a bit more and figuring out the pacing a bit better in terms of introducing these other characters and like the goofball screwball comedy, you know. And I'm hopeful that it's paced a little bit better.
I agree. And on a side note, I'm excited. We still need to see Michael Rooker.
Oh yeah,
James Gunn staple. He's like an old man.
What is he supposed to be playing
in the montage in the beginning?
Interesting.
He's like a hobo looking like, and Judo Master's
I saw like
back.
A random lady. Oh yeah, Judo Master.
Yeah.
There's like a random lady dancing at one point.
The old lady?
Yeah, I forget who that was. That in the first episode, I don't know.
I don't think we've met her yet.
So we haven't met her.
She's taking the place in the montage of the old man.
Yeah.
Who played Chris Smith's neighbor.
Yeah.
So maybe she's just going to be like the wife.
I wonder if that neighbor's going to pop up again.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not in the montage at all. That guy was old as fuck. Maybe he's dead.
I do like seeing like the alien in the background. And the alien's in this episode again. That was a fun.
I like the alien just popping in for a moment or two.
And it's just like, get the fuck out of here. I like how the music stops too when he comes in.
Yep. Yeah, just like a record, whatever.
Yeah, it's all around like a good episode. Not, again, my favorite, not as good as episode 1 for me, but I'm still very enthralled and like curious to see where it goes, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We have anything more to say about
Honestly,
this episode?
I don't. I mean, I feel like we kind of went into it pretty well. I don't think there was anything we really missed. No?
Just want to see how long we have dead air for. No, I'm good. We're gonna wait till the season's over to rate the season?
I think so.
Or are we still doing episode by episode?
I don't really know if there's any point in doing episode by episode. I think just doing the season as a whole.
Okay.
Because I think that's more comprehensive, because that's going to be like really final thoughts. And obviously the final episode will like go into the season as a whole. Yeah. And that'll be more comprehensive, and we can give a better look into what we really felt about it and everything. I almost feels like weird giving this episode a ranking when it's only episode 2.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It kind of feels
maybe at the end we could rank the episodes.
We can definitely rank them. I mean, we're ranking this right now, obviously.
No, I mean, like, which ones we maybe actually liked. Like, put your favorite Star Wars movies in order.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I hear you. We could definitely do that. That'd be interesting.
And one other thing, just on a side note, since we talk, we end up talking about DC a lot, obviously, when talking about Peacemaker. But I'll deliver some DC news here and there as they come along. Clayface is about to start shooting. And
I saw the Gotham City police cars on Twitter. Yeah, I saw that.
James Gunn has confirmed, because originally apparently it was debated if it was going to be in the Elseworlds title of DC, which is going to, you know about the Elseworlds, right?
That's like what Reeves' Batman is, right? And like Joaquin's
Joker. Yeah, like where it's not going to be connected. But it was debated if it was going to be Elseworlds or not, because this wasn't in the slate for Phase 1, Gods and Monsters. But James Gunn did say this is in the slate. And for Phase 1. And I do like, on a side note, this also is something we didn't talk about, but it's an interesting note about James Gunn and the DCU, is they laid out Phase 1, Gods and Monsters, I think like 2 years ago when Superman was announced and all that. And again, Clayface, this just says something about James Gunn. Clayface, again, was not in the slate. And I don't know who made the pitch, if it was Mike Flanagan. I think Flanagan might have, because he's writing it. But according to James Gunn, he said when it was just that good of a pitch, and I can see it, he's like, well, we added it.
I like that.
I think it's cool that James Gunn is willing to shake it up even after it's been laid out.
Gunn's a good leader, just because you kind of like, if you don't have a plan, you can't change the plan, right?
Yeah.
I can tell that he 1000% has a plan, but he's also open to creative opportunities.
Yeah.
And spontaneity, and like that shows me that he's a good leader. And I'm very curious to see what Clayface is, because that's a really interesting movie to be like your second movie in your slate, or third. It'll be after Supergirl.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's still interesting. You have Superman, Supergirl, fucking a like B tier Batman villain.
Yep. The fact that they were willing
like,
to throw it in there that quick.
Respect.
And
I'm interested.
The comparisons are just going to go along the way, but where Marvel can't, after introducing the character technically 3 years ago, they still have not gotten Blade in front of us. I like how James Gunn did not have a Clayface movie. He's like, let's make it.
Yeah.
And let's make it next year.
I'm also just interested in the horror take, because I'm not the biggest superhero fan in the world, like, ever. Like, I don't. It's not like my favorite movies of all time are like more dramas and like genre movies than like superhero films. You know, it's not like my favorite thing. But the reason I like these things like Peacemaker is the character. Like, I find the character shit so interesting, and I think Clayface, there's a really interesting world to explore in terms of the character shit going on there, you know? I think I just like Flanagan as a writer and a director. I don't think he's directing it, but
no,
he's a really great writer. I really like his screenplays. And that makes me more curious about it. Like, I'm more interested in Clayface than I am in like Supergirl, to be honest with you.
Me too. James Watkins is directing.
Oh, okay.
That name sounds familiar. This also, just one more thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to be analyzing the tone of the DCU, and how last week we said it was refreshing to see that Superman is one tone, Peacemaker is the other, but they clearly exist in the same universe. Now we're going to get a rated R movie.
So it's going to be interesting to see how, again, that works.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
I'm excited.
This show is rated R stuff.
Oh, for sure. Horror. I'm sorry.
Rated R
horror. That's what I meant. We're going to get a
interesting.
horror. So, I don't think it's going to be, sorry for all the comparisons. Like, the Doctor Strange horror that we got in the sequel is supposed to be a horror.
That's bullshit.
Like, I'm excited to see.
That's a terrible movie.
Like, it's not good. I'm excited to see a horror movie now mixed in. Like, I'm just continuously excited to see, like, these different shades that are also going to come together and make the same universe.
I'm just interested because I heard it's a character study horror movie about an actor. So that has me sold. I could really give a shit about Supergirl. I mean, I'm curious, but I want to see Clayface. That's what I want to see.
There also might have been a spoiler in regards to what he's going to look like as of this morning, which is August 31st right now. There was something I read on a website. Somebody got a screenshot of a Gotham newspaper that's on set, and off to the right in one of the columns, it looks like somebody who's quite disfigured. And now, if it's him, it's giving me vibes of A Different Man, Sebastian Stan, where the guy's got like he's got the disease, whatever, that almost looks like elephantitis or something. So if that's true. But anyways, yeah, since we're talking DC, I feel like along the way while talking about this shit, other things are going to pop into our heads. But yeah, this was a good episode of Peacemaker.
I'm really just curious to see where it goes next. And I just continue to be impressed with the character work that Gunn puts into the show.
Yeah.
And the comedy for the most part. It's funny.
Absolutely.
And I love Tim Meadows. I'm interested to see how like that screwball-y comedy is gonna mesh more with the season. Like, it works well with the Economos thing. The little eagle-y action scene, I was starting to be like, I don't know. But
I was more so just nervous, like, they better not harm that fucking bird.
oh yeah,
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, don't fucking.
I was
harm
like, well,
this
they
bird.
couldn't have killed Meadows off this soon, so
No, that too. But I was like way more concerned. I was like, they better not hurt this bird.
Yeah.
They've got me connected.
Well, when I
to
revealed that
thing.
like half those people lived, I was like, I thought they all died in that scene.
The woman might be dead. We don't know, right?
That definitely could be it.
So, titties, as he called them.
Oh my god.
All his nicknames. All right, so we're wrapping up here on Peacemaker. So tune in next week as we go over Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3.
Yep. All right, thank you
Don't
guys for
forget,
watching.
like, subscribe, share, comment, tell people, give 5-star ratings, please. And until next week.